This is the world's fastest knot.
Huh? No. What?
No.
There's a big difference between this and any other magic trick you've seen.
What?
Now, almost every magic trick has some secret to it, some sleight of hand thing going on, but not these tricks. In fact, this trick is 100% real.
Yeah.
And the thing that is so amazing about these tricks is they can take weeks, months, if not years to perfect, because you're actually doing what you say you're gonna do. I'm gonna show you some of my favorites. Well, be sure to stay to the end because I'm going to do an uncut, unfiltered performance of the world's fastest knot, so we can see it's 100% real. And if we get to 10,000 likes on this video, I'll teach you guys how to do it. Card throwing. Probably one of the coolest tricks to me as a kid was card throw. Literally taking a card and throwing it. I felt like a ninja. I felt like a magic ninja. Rick Smith Jr. that you're seeing here is one of the best card throwers in the world. Now, the amount of accuracy, precision, practice, and discipline it takes to be this good is insane. But card throwing goes even further than this. Here's one of the magicians I used to watch all the time as a kid, Jeff McBride. Jeff is also a master at card manipulation. That's where you make cards appear out of the air. But the one thing that he does that was even more amazing was this. My man can not only throw cards, he is flicking cards from his thumb with such accuracy and precision, where he not only can throw multiple cards, he can also throw them off the ground. This is completely real. That's all physics. That's all about how you throw the card at the ground to where it can bounce. Card throwing is probably one of the coolest tricks ever. And we're just getting started. Next up, we have sword swallowing. Now, please do not try this at home. The fact of the matter is that sword swallowing is real. People can actually do it. There's a certain group of people, I believe it's 1 in every 250, that can relax the muscles in their throat and can have an entire sword fit through all the way to their gut. There's even a guy who swallowed a sword and flipped. Now, because this skill is so rare and so difficult to do, there are many people that fake it. And the way they do this is through a trick sword. Now, these swords are usually plastic. They roll. So when you put them in your mouth, they roll instead of going down. And when you take it out, they unroll. Now comes the one you've been waiting for. Poker cheating. That's right. Poker cheating. Now, as a kid, I thought poker cheating was one of the coolest things ever. I even bought a book on it and I would read it every day after school. Now, there's two problems when you learn how to do this. First, no one wants to play poker with you. Second, the skills that I was learning are some of the most difficult skills to learn. We're gonna look at a guy named Ricky J, one of the best sleight of hand artists ever. He has a rule for himself. If he's gonna learn a new magic trick, he's gonna practice it for a year by himself before he shows a single person. That's dedication right there. Now, Ricky J is also a master card thrower. He wrote the book on card throwing, and that's not a figure of speech. He actually wrote the book on card throwing. When we look at poker cheating, there's 3 techniques that get talked about a lot. And the first is called the second deal.
If I had the ace of spades on top of the deck and we were playing in a game, I'd want to deal that card to Larry unless I didn't, which means that I wouldn't deal him the top card. I'd make it look like I was dealing him the top card, but I would be keeping it on the top. That's why it's called second dealing. It's an odd concept. It looks like the top card is coming off the deck, but in fact it isn't. So this is something that one could do, and this requires practice.
The second one that a lot of people talk about is much harder. This is called bottom dealing.
Now, bottom dealing, some people say, is even a little more difficult. In this case, you place 4 aces on the bottom of the deck. And again, I want you to see that this is not an optical illusion. The aces really are on the bottom. What I'm going to be doing here, this works with 5 or 6 hands in the game, but in this case, I'm going to deal my opponents a card and myself a card. His cards come off the top. My cards come off the bottom. This is cheating.
And then we have the last one. This is called center dealing.
Now, the most elaborate form of false dealing is something called center dealing. This was literally unheard of 70 years ago. It's almost never been seen. And you can see what I'm doing may look odd in one sense because I'm putting the aces in the deck face up. Why am I doing that? Because it's a demonstration. If we were in a real poker game, obviously the aces would be face down, but this is a case where I want you to see me cheat. And what I'm going to do is give a little shuffle and then try to sense where those aces are as I deal them. There shouldn't be any directly near the top or near the bottom. Let's say we're playing 4-handed. We'll make it 5, a little more theatrical. I would be dealing out 5 hands, and I'd be trying to get the ace in my hand. Now, you could see there was no ace on the top. So in that split second, I choose not to take the top card and somehow dig below the deck to where I feel an ace. Let's see if I can do that one more time, and one more. And if I can, that would be false dealing.
And now comes the moment we've all been waiting for. No cuts at all. Let's go. You ready? Here we go, baby.
That was awesome! What?
No.
That's like a full-on knot. How'd you do that?